Hello, dear LCPs, and welcome to the session of how to handle the university relations. This is Paco. I guess everyone know me. If not, I'm really glad that we can meet here. I'm the MCPP Partnership Development, and I'm really glad to help you on creating this university relationship with your local universities. Just as for you to know, I was LCP past year, and we have a great relationship with that university. They gave us a stance, they gave us a lot of goodies, a lot of good stuff. So we worked a lot with them. We really hard, and we really improved the relationship with them. So if you have any questions, any ideas, any suggestions, let me know anytime, and I can speak to you about what we did with my university and how you can improve this relationships. Okay. So let's go with the session. We will have here the index. First, we will check why university relationships is important for AIESEC. I will say UR. What can be achieved through UR? How can we segment university to work with? How to work with the university growth model, how to track the growth, and how to create a loyalty plan. So this is really important, okay? So let's go with it. So first, the basic question, right? What is university relationships? I think that this is quite self-explanatory. I don't need to go really deep. It's just the relationships we have as AIESEC, as a youth organization, with the universities that are nearby or that are also hosting us. For example, you have some universities that AIESEC is directly created or linked with the university, and we have another examples in which AIESEC was created as a lone entity, and then it was partnered with a university. We have here a lot of universities which have really good relationships, and we have some universities that are in the process of having this relationship. So it's just basically how we can partner with this enabler, right? So let's go with it. So why is this so important to us? Let me give you a really simple example. So let's say you are a salesman. I mean, every time in our lives we are salesmen, and also in AIESEC. In AIESEC, we need to sell our products, right? So if we want to sell candies to someone, if we have this huge bag of candies and we want to have money from it, what will you do? What will be the first thing we got in your mind to sell these candies? And I'll give you just 2 seconds to think. Okay, time's up. The most obvious answer will be go with kids, like go to maybe go to a kindergarten. Maybe that's not that healthy. You can go to, I don't know, a place where you have kids. You can start selling the candies or something like that, and probably it will be easier, right? Because this is your market. This makes sense. You're not going to sell candies to I don't know, to grandparents or people with problems in the teeth, because they won't buy you. It doesn't make any sense. So it's as simple as this. So what happens with AIESEC? When we always mention we work with young people and students. Remember that they can take an exchange even they're not students, but mostly we work with young people and students, and where we can find these students. So if what we do is cross-cultural exchanges and we want to find the students, the most obvious answer will be working with universities. You don't need to be working with government. You don't need to be working with companies. If you want to focus on the youth and on students, the most obvious answer will be for university. And guys, dear my beautiful LCPs, if you are not working with your university relationships, believe me, you will have a hard time getting CXY approvals, because this is like the main source. Like if you want to make a cake, you need a flour, so you need to go to la boulangerie, right? You don't go to buy meat, you don't go to buy anything. If you want students, you go to university. So this is really important. This is why AIESEC is focusing a lot in developing the university relationships. Okay, cool. Now we go why this is so important was, as I mentioned, because they are the most important partner here, and because this is where most of our potential customers are located. This is like the children. If you have candies, you go to children. If you have a product for the youth, you need students, you go to universities. And also we need to have a more professional way into working with them, because it's not the same just sending one email or just having a verbal agreement. Is way different if you have a signed contract. Is way different if you have a calendar of events you can do with them. So if we have a good university relations, believe me, you will have a lot of approvals, and a lot of LCPs here will be like, you know, like doing this. Because, for example, Rennes, it's a really good example. They have this good thing that they have this AIESEC videos on all the televisions in the school. That is amazing. It gives you a lot of professionalism and it's way easier for you. So if you focus a lot as LCPs, because you are the main channel, you remember we have a session, you are the main spokesman of the LC, and you go and represent your LC with the university. If you manage to sign this kind of contracts or relationships, you will make a lot easier the work of your VPs and your members, CXY, or even marketing, because they will have more attraction. Okay, perfect. Now, what we can achieve with university relationships? We can have 3 main focuses. You can focus on 1, on 2, or maybe the 3 of them. My recommendation is just go for 2 maximum on your year, so you can really develop them, right? So first, we have boosting exchanges. Clearly, what you can do is have more exchanges, because if you focus on your UR, as I mentioned, you have a lot of exchanges. Or maybe you can have the same exchanges, but way easier, way easier, right? Second one, it's brand exposure. Obviously, as I mentioned with Rennes or with any other LCs, that you can have your flyers in the universities, or imagine that you can have, for example, they send a newsletter to all the students, to all their emails, and you have the AIESEC logo on their signatures, or you have even one digital flyer, or like a Halloween campaign or something. It will be really easier if the university sends through their internal channels the AIESEC flyers, that if you are just in a stand or something like that, like doing like classroom after classroom, is much harder and it's much energy wasted. So if like it's 20-80, if you focus the 20 on the university relationships, it will give you the 80 of the exchanges, like way easier. And the third one is to officialize. So what we can do this, we can have a signed contract, we can have something official from the director, from the headmaster, from someone. So with this, we'll have a good like a paper or background that tells we are officially a partner of the university. Okay, so you can choose which, for me, if you ask me, you can go first with boosting exchanges and second with brand exposure. Okay, let's go now with how do we select to which universities we want to work with. So if we are an LCP and we don't have currently a good relationship, or we want to change the relationship, or we want to create a new one, what the things we need to focus is first enough making an analysis of the market of the university. So if you are focusing on people that, let's say you have a partner in Korea or Brazil or something, Argentina, and they want people that can speak Spanish, it makes more sense go to the faculty of Spanish, I don't know, letters, than going to economics, or they're going to digital commerce. Why would you go them? Like, if you have this kind of demand, you need to get the supply, right? So try to be smart in which universities, or even on which faculties, because if you are in a huge university, Paris 1, Paris 2, whatever, and you have different faculties, focus on the faculty that will give you more. So if you have CXY focused on business profiles, and you have a faculty of international commerce, it's perfect. You can focus on that, not on the whole university, right? Also try to check vacation periods. This is important because if you have a relationship with, let's say, Turkey, and you will send people abroad in September, but your university has classes in September, well, this is a mistake, bro. So try to focus on having a match between, as I mentioned, the supply and the demand. As I mentioned, the careers. Also, the number of students is super important. If you are a little LC, 20 people, 25, or you are a huge LC, 40, 50, and you, like, let's say you are a little one, if you have a faculty of 2,000 people, probably it will be hard to manage, right? And finally, the internationalization. Okay, that's hard. It is really important because if you're trying to get AIESEC into a university that is not interested in having international experience, it will be hard to convince them. But if you find in the page of a university that they want to send people abroad, and they always say like, hey, we want to become international, hey, we want to have a product of exchanges, it will be easier. when I was LCP, I reached this university that they wanted to have a program for their students to go abroad, but they were so small that they weren't able to do it. And we just like introduced AIESEC in the university, and AIESEC turned out to be like the official way of becoming international. It was amazing. They were so happy with AIESEC. So you can try to also do this. You have several universities in France and in the places you live, so you can try to search for